Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving straight into a beautifully authentic script from a short film called Roshni Ka Rasta, which translates to The Path of Light. We're going to unpack a really universal human struggle today. How on earth do we find profound purpose in those seemingly mundane, super repetitive tasks we all have to do? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you might just see your own daily grind in a completely different light.
So let me ask you, have you ever felt like your work is just a massive burden? I mean, we've all been there, right? You get that creeping feeling of burnout, the sheer exhaustion of being stuck in a repetitive, seemingly dead-end routine where you're just looking around wondering, what is the actual point of all this? Well, this is exactly the mindset our protagonist is trapped in as our story begins. It's this heavy feeling of friction, not just with his job, but kind of with life itself. But to really understand how we break out of this trap, we first need to get a feel for the world our characters are operating in.
Section 1. Setting the Delhi scene.
Picture this. We are in a community library, or like a study center, right in the heart of a bustling North Delhi neighborhood. Think Rohini or Pitampura, on a warm, golden afternoon. It is a total sensory overload. Outside, you can hear these chaotic, bustling market noises. There are distant auto rickshaw horns blaring. There's this constant, almost visible swirl of dust flying in the air. But cutting right through all of that noise is the faint, really nostalgic melody of an old Kishore Kumar song. It's this wild mix of immense chaos and deep cultural charm. It's real, it's gritty, and yep, it's covered in a layer of everyday dust.
And right smack in the middle of this dusty library, we meet our guy. Meet Kabir. He's a 21-year-old local youth, and honestly, he is the perfect representation of so many young professionals or students today. He's cynical, he's deeply frustrated, and physically, he is stuck doing what feels like literally the most pointless job in the world, aggressively dusting a massive floor-to-ceiling glass window. He's coughing from the dust, he's checking his phone every 2 minutes, and he's just carrying this heavy weight of feeling totally trapped. He is 100% convinced that his labor is entirely meaningless.
At one point, Kabir literally throws down his cloth in utter frustration and complains, "Puri Delhi ki mitti lagta hai isi library par aakar girti hai." Basically, it feels like all the dust in Delhi falls on this one library. He believes he's just cursed to be stuck between this dirt and these old books forever. To Kabir, he is just rubbing a window. He explicitly says there's no dignity in the small work. It's an endless, thankless cycle because, the dust is just going to come right back tomorrow anyway. He feels small because he believes his work is small.
Section 2. A Conflict of Mindsets.
Enter Shamaji. He's 59 years old, the senior caretaker of the library, and he just has this wonderful, warm, grandfatherly presence about him. He walks in with a bucket of water and a wiper, and unlike Kabir, who is over there coughing and complaining, Shamaji is just radiating contentment. He's actually the one happily humming that old Kishore Kumar song. Now, here is what's absolutely fascinating about this. Shamaji is dealing with the exact same heat, the exact same noise, and the exact same dust as Kabir. The environment hasn't changed one bit. The only thing that is different here is the person.
So we are looking at a really profound philosophical divide here. On one side we have Kabir's view, we are just rubbing a window. There's no dignity in this small work. He is taking the dust personally, like it's a direct insult to his potential. But on the other side, we have Sharmaji's view, the dust's job is to fly. Our job is to clean. I mean, just look at the profound acceptance in that statement. Sharmaji completely separates his ego from his environment. The dust isn't a punishment, it's just nature doing its thing. And cleaning it isn't degrading. It's just his role in the ecosystem. It's a remarkably grounded way to look at the daily grind, don't you think?
So Sharmaji eventually taps Kabir on the shoulder and drops this absolute truth bomb. He says, "Tum kaam se nahi, apni soch se lad rahe ho." You are fighting your mindset, not the work. Think about how true that is for so many of us. We exhaust ourselves not from the actual physical labor of what we do, whether that's writing 50 emails, crunching numbers, or literally cleaning windows, but from the mental friction we create by resenting it. Sharmaji is telling Kabir that his exhaustion isn't coming from the wiping cloth, it's coming straight from his own cynicism.
Section 3. The Window of Perspective. Let's look at how Sharmaji completely flips Kabir's entire worldview. Step 1. Up until now, Kabir has been standing inches away from the glass, seeing only the dirt and the streaks. He was just looking at the window. Then, step 2, Sharmaji takes a fresh wiper and with one smooth practice swoosh, he clears this massive patch on the glass. Suddenly, the window isn't a wall of dirt anymore. It becomes a lens to the outside world. And finally, step 3, by clearing that glass, they aren't just pushing dirt around. They are actively letting the light pour in for the people inside who need it the most.
And what exactly is that light revealing outside? The clear glass opens up a view of this chaotic but deeply vibrant reality. Outside, neighborhood kids are sitting under a neem tree, sharing a single book. There's an old vendor selling fresh mangoes under a bright, colorful umbrella. And most importantly, Sharmaji points out the local students inside. Many of them are preparing for those grueling civil services exams, sitting in this very library night after night. For them, this library is their absolute sanctuary.
Then Sharma ji tells Kabir, तुम यहाँ मिट्टी साफ नहीं कर रहे, तुम उन बच्चों के रास्ते से अंधेरा हटा रहे हो. You aren't just cleaning dust, you are removing darkness from these kids' paths. You are bringing light, roshni, into this room. Wow, this changes absolutely everything. Kabir suddenly realizes that he isn't some victim of a dirty city. He is literally the gatekeeper of the light. If the window is dirty, the students study in the dark. If the window is clean, they have the light they desperately need to build their futures. His small, supposedly undignified job is actually a vital pillar of his community's success.
Section 4. The dignity of labor.
You actually see this realization manifest physically. Kabir stops coughing. He stops checking his phone. He stops complaining. When Sharmaji hands him a clean microfiber cloth, Kabir takes this deep breath. He straightens his shoulders. He stands up tall, and he starts spray cleaning the next pane of glass with immense care, wiping it smoothly from top to bottom. His physical demeanor has completely transformed from resentment into genuine, deliberate pride. The work hasn't changed at all, right? The window is still huge, the dust is still there, but the worker has been entirely reborn.
As the afternoon sun finally breaks through the clean glass, bathing the room in this warm, golden glow, Kabir remarks on how beautiful the room looks. And Sharmaji offers this beautiful final piece of wisdom. Kamra to hamesh se sundar tha. Bas tumhari nazar ka parda hatne ki deri thi. The room was always beautiful. It just took lifting the veil from your eyes. What a spectacular thought. The value, the beauty, and the purpose of your current situation are already there. They always have been. We just let the daily dust of routine, cynicism, and frustration act as a veil, blinding us to the true impact of what we do.
So the absolutely crucial point we must take away from Roshni Ka Rasta is this redefined concept of work. Work is not merely a chore or a burden. It is an act of bringing light and value to others. Whether you are dusting a library window so students can see, organizing a massive spreadsheet so your team can actually function, or serving a cup of coffee that makes someone's morning just slightly better, your labor has dignity. It has a profound impact. It is only the lens through which you view it that turns it into either a prison or a purpose.
All right, that brings us to the end of our explainer today. But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. What dirty window in your life is actually just waiting to let the light in? What is that frustrating, repetitive task in your own day-to-day routine that you've been fighting in your mind? I highly encourage you to take Sharmaji's advice. Step back, lift the veil from your eyes, and look closely at who is benefiting from your efforts.